Hey man, did you check out the Pro Bowl last Sunday?
No, I decided to do a little bit more exciting thing. I took a nap.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh my God, we did it!
My dick is big, my dick is wide, my dick is huge.
That's right. Super Bowl, here we come.
So you're saying there's a chance?
We're ready to tear this baby up.
Why? Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to the Super Bowl preview episode of the Trajan Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler, and once again, Super Bowl bound Kansas City Chiefs fanatic Christian Temple, joined alongside, as always, by my good friend, the terrible flapping, not twirling, towel Trajan. How are we feeling after this very exciting and liberating Pro Bowl weekend? I mean, you kind of gave up your answer in the intro.
I'm just done with football for the year. Until September, it's dead to me.
Come on, Arthur Smith wasn't that bad.
True, it's true.
Yeah, something to talk about, but we will not be talking about this week. We'll be going into more detail on the coaching changes as they go on, because they're probably still happening as we speak. Let's be honest here. But yes, this past weekend was the Pro Bowl. Not a whole lot of exciting things to talk about. I mean, it's flag football. I mean, yeah, it was kind of cool seeing I guess certain quarterbacks throwing to receivers that you never would have thought. Not every day you see C.J. Stroud throwing to Jamar Chase or Geno Smith throwing to C.D. Lamb or something like that. I mean, I guess that stuff's kind of cool. You still get that, but it's just not the same. It's really not the same for what it used to be.
No, it's lost its hype. It's just another weekend for the NFL to sell advertisements.
Oh, definitely, absolutely. I do have to say some of the Pro Bowl games though were entertaining. I mean, it's sad that my favorite thing about the Pro Bowl is like the dodgeball. Uh, it's like- even though this year was like super lackluster, like they were, it's like okay, let's go, and it's done. Like it was over. There was like no drama or anything like that too.
Yeah.
The I'm just going off memory here too. I didn't take any notes on the Pro Bowl. If you want to know, if you want to know the score, NFC won 64-59. So there you go. Um, because apparently the score of the flag football game is also affected by the scores they give in the Pro Bowl games too. Come to find out, so
Really?
whenever a team would win one of the games, they would get 3 points added to their score in the flag football game. I do have to say the closest to the pin was pretty fun too, because you could tell which of those players have swung a golf club in their life and the others that have never done so. And it was a punter that ended up winning that one. Brian Anger for the Dallas Cowboys was 2 feet away from the pin on his, I think it was his first shot.
Wow.
No, it might have been his second shot. I think his first shot was over the green, and then the second shot was like near perfection. It was very well done. So you can
Okay.
you can tell he's probably played a little golf or two in his time. So, but yeah, that was the Pro Bowl. You know, it is what it is now. It's taken on a whole different identity, I guess, for lack of a better term, which means it sucks. Uh,
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
we'll move on from that, and we'll move on to a little competition that Trajan and I had at the beginning of the year. Some of you may remember that we did some predictions, and I say predictions loosely because boy were we wrong on a lot of things in this one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, who's right? Who's always right? Who always guesses these? Right on the nose, right?
Exactly.
So
I,
as
I'd like to say I was very much on the hype train when I made these picks.
Well, as you'll see in a second, you actually you didn't do too bad, I will have to say, on some of these picks. So let's flip over to that right now. As you can see right here, this is the top half of our predictions for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers 2023 campaign. Starting with week 1, we had Kansas City drop the home opener to the Detroit Lions, as well as the 49ers taking care of business against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just week 1 feelings from then and now. I mean, obviously for me, there's a lot of hype. I mean, we just got done doing that, at the trophy presentation. Remember that? We showed it off and all that too, and then Detroit had to come in and spoil the party.
That was good. That was the only thing good about week 1.
The unreasonable house guests that they are, we bring them in, we show them around, show them the new hardware, and what do? They freaking chuck us through our own dining room table. I'll never forgive them for that. I'm glad that they lost to the 49ers.
Yeah. That's kind of harsh, but
exactly. It's kind of funny. Because I said this in the moment on Facebook. I said it's like, well, Detroit, congratulations on winning your Super Bowl, and boy, at the end of the day, I was more right than I imagined because they were this close to actually making it to a Super Bowl. Hats off to them for an incredible season. It was a hell of a run. There's going to be a lot of questions asked in the offseason. Will they have a chance to make it back? Who knows? We'll see if Dan Campbell will keep the band back together.
Yeah, no, it looks like it so far. But we won't talk about the 49ers game. That was bad.
That's fair. And we're not going to go through week by week. I just want to show a couple highlights here, too. You can see here, from week 2 to week 12, I was absolutely perfect on my guesses, too. And when I was going through this, I just double-checked everything, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I guessed every single one of them correct, including the fact that we would lose at Denver. And honestly, that was probably the most humiliating loss all season because they had an answer for everything that the Chiefs offense had.
That's great.
I mean, yeah, it was Patrick Mahomes' flu game, but still, I mean, it's still a team effort, and the team was just not there on that particular game. Obviously, you're very happy about the Green Bay result for your team.
Oh yeah, that was my highlighted must-win game of the year, just because I was spending all that money to get there, and it was a pretty good game. That was a Canada sideline game.
That's right. He went from the press box to the sideline, out to the outhouse soon afterwards. What was it? It was Cleveland. The very next week that he got let go, wasn't it?
Yes.
So you got to witness the final home game of Matt Nagy's career.
Matt Nagy's.
Or not Canada's career. God dang it.
I mean, it's about the same.
It honestly, well, yeah. to a T. Not 100%, but
just don't hire Matt.
Exactly. Yeah. Matt Patricia.
It'll leave you disappointed.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one was probably the most disappointing because they won 13-10. Like, we couldn't even score more than 10 points.
Yep. Well, as you can see down here, we get to our totals. For the Chiefs, I was at 11-6. Trajan, you finished up at 8-9. For the Steelers, I ended up at 6-11, and you ended up at 9-8, which I honestly thought that's what you would have, the Steelers would have finished the year at, and 6-11 is what you thought the Chiefs would end up in the year. So your prediction actually kind of came full circle there a little bit.
A little bit, a little dyslexic. That's fine.
Which means, as you can see right here, we ended up tied at 17-17 apiece. I could not believe that was the case. So that meant we had to have a tiebreaker. And at the beginning of the season, we didn't just pick each individual games. We also picked who we thought was going to A, win their respective divisions, and B, which teams would make the wild card. And as you can see right here, it was close. It was very, very close. But I edged Trajan out by a final score of 4-3. The Dolphins, the Dolphins were my lifesaver because that was the only wild card team that was picked correctly by us when we made these at the beginning of the year. I can remember us talking. We were both debating, would this be the year that the Dolphins would usurp the Bills? I do remember us talking about that at the beginning of the season.
It looks like it.
It almost happened.
Almost happened.
It almost happened. And then it came down to, was it week 17 or week 18? It was week 18, wasn't it?
Yeah, week 18.
That's right. It came down to the very last week. That's right, because it was at Dolphins, and the Bills took care of business on the road and stole the AFC East from the Dolphins. But that's the deal. It seemed like we were both pretty high on the Aaron Rodgers hype at the time. I can tell from that.
Yeah, which I mean, what could have been? They had a pretty decent showing on some games.
Yeah, they did. Let's say what could have been. That is the biggest story this year. What if Aaron Rodgers was healthy all year? We might have been talking about a whole different deal. Boy, we were both totally wrong on the AFC North, but at least picked different teams. The Jaguars absolutely crapped themselves this year, but it was kind of ironic that the Titans were the reason that they didn't make it, considering it was the previous year that the Jags were the reason the Titans didn't make it in.
Yup. It's full circle.
And for some odd reason, Trajan bought into the offseason hype yet again and picked the Chargers to win the AFC West.
You know what? I don't regret it.
No regrets. No regrets whatsoever. Alrighty. Moving on to the...
Guess what? I'll do it again.
I did. Moving on to the NFC side, and my one and only pick that was correct, the 49ers winning the NFC West, although that seemed like it was kind of a gimme, especially the performance they had last year. The moves they made in the offseason, the players getting healthy at the right time. I do have to tip my cap to you. Well done on picking the Lions to win the NFC North. See, I
was a risky pick back then.
I thought they would be close. And honestly, if Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins were healthy the entire year, it might have been a little closer than that. But, once again, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Lions did take it. Boy, were we really thinking the Eagles. Remember at the beginning of the year we said it's like, who's going to beat the AFC opponent for the Eagles in the Super Bowl?
Yep.
We were pretty confident in the fact that the Eagles would go back-to-back.
We did not expect the brain drain to hurt that much.
Ooh.
And I don't think I realized that Matt Patricia was the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, we must have missed that memo for some reason when we made these picks for some reason. But good God, as if Eagles fans wanted Jonathan Gannon run out on a rail. Oh my God.
Bad.
Good Lord. And now you've got Vic Fangio there too. So I mean, I think that's already an upgrade.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes. He's one of those guys that seems like he does better as a coordinator than a head coach, I'd say. Much like Matt Patricia.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of.
Well, I will say Patricia probably is the one exception to the rule that he is terrible as both the coordinator and head coach, unless he is with the New England Patriots. Go figure.
Yeah.
And
Josh McDaniels.
Oh man. Well, and then we completely whiffed on the wild card teams there too. But yes, I will. Please hold your applause for me as I am victorious once again in my predictions. I'll say once again. I don't remember who won last year. Honestly, you may have
because I go with my heart too much.
Got the rose-colored glasses too much for your team, right?
Exactly.
Oh, man. Alrighty. Well, I guess that brings us to one final topic, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm just going
to... Don't you want to talk about all the good things about your new favorite team?
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, as you can see right here, the teams have been set. Well, they've been set for a little while now, too. But Super Bowl I have to stand up for this. 58 is set in stone. The Kansas City Chiefs have an opportunity to go back-to-back for the first time in their franchise history, and they're taking on a familiar foe in the San Francisco 49ers. So, we were talking about it before we started recording. Obviously, the 49ers starting off as, 1.5-point favorites. ESPN.com has them listed at 59.4% chance of winning. Obviously, as far as comparing their leaders and everything too, we got to start with the quarterback. Brock Purdy, 4,280 yards passing, 31 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions, which actually is statistically better than Patrick Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, 41.83 on the yards, only 27 touchdowns, and 3 more interceptions, 14 interceptions. Although, and I'm knocking on all the wood here too, Mahomes has not thrown an interception since the Christmas Day game against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say about that?
We'll see how he does in February.
Absolutely. We'll see how he does in February. That's the one that matters, right? All right. Well, moving on to, this matchup is going to be interesting too. We've got the running backs here. And, comparing Christian McCaffrey and Isaiah Pacheco, truthfully, as much as I love Isaiah, there really is no comparison. Christian McCaffrey, in both of our opinions, really should be the MVP this year. I think we've established that, our feelings about that for the last several weeks, even in the regular season.
Yeah, do you think the 49ers are here without him? Being a non-quarterback in this league and being that, I think he should have got it.
It's a very good question. And let's see if he does on this coming Thursday we're recording this, it will be tomorrow night. The NFL honors will be on Thursday night. Go Tom Grossi. I hope he wins NFL Fan of the Year. That'd be fantastic for him. And he gets to go to the Super Bowl. That's freaking awesome for him.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey ended the year with almost 1,500 yards. He had 14 total touchdowns. And Isaiah Pacheco, this close to a 1,000-yard rushing season. He ended up with 935, ended up with 7 touchdowns. Although he has come alive in the playoffs too. So it'll be interesting to see how often Andy Reid goes to Isaiah Pacheco. Because it seems like the more times he feeds him, the more time, more clock the Chiefs offense can chew off there, which would keep McCaffrey and Purdy off the field.
Oh, yeah.
All right, as far as injuries, the only things we're seeing right now on the 49ers, Eric Armstead is questionable and George Kittle is questionable. I'm sure they'll both play. Charles Omenihu for the Chiefs obviously will not play, torn ACL in the AFC Championship game. That's a heavy loss for that defensive line. Although it might be an opportunity for the first round draft pick that we got to see live, Felix Inudike Uzama, make his. It wouldn't be a season debut, but I think this would be his playoff debut, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see if he can do that. See if he can make a big impact in the Super Bowl. Alrighty, which then brings us down to Joe Thuney, who is listed as questionable, but I doubt he'll play. Nick Allegretti, very serviceable backup for him. And this one kind of hurts a little bit because, man, after the sacrifice that he made, sliding at the 1-yard line, not scoring too soon and giving the Chiefs an opportunity to run out the clock against the Eagles last year, Jerick McKinnon was released off IR, but from the news from Andy Reid, not looking too promising that he'll be able to suit up for the Super Bowl. So it's sad, but at least he'll be on the sideline being able to support his team. So, but yeah, those are the biggest storylines of the Super Bowl thus far. Let's go ahead and take your thoughts about this game going into it, and the piece of apparel that didn't show up in time.
I know. I ordered a 49ers shirt. It still isn't here. Hopefully that isn't an omen of things to come. Them showing up late. I don't know. So I think regardless, this is going to actually be a good game. I really thought about protesting this because I do hate the Chiefs. But I will be over at Temple's place celebrating. No, I'm not. I can't even lie. I'll be there to hopefully see his team lose.
Ah, there you go. That's right. Well, last year
But-
you tried to get me with the green shoes. Or I guess the white shoes with the green markings on them too. And this year you try to take it one step further, get the San Francisco 49ers t-shirt to bring to my Super Bowl party.
The Christian McCaffrey jersey. No,
Oh my God, that level of dedication.
I wouldn't mind having a Christian McCaffrey jersey.
There you go. Yeah,
But
you can be like
no, that's too far.
you can be like Tom. You can have one jersey of every single team.
Oh gosh, the bank account would never recover.
or your face when your wife slaps you. It's like, why'd you buy all this?
My heart is telling me the 49ers will take care of business. But my mind is telling me the Chiefs, through some BS, are going to end up winning this game. So, yes, I think the Chiefs are winning.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate that. That's all I needed to hear from you today. Don't throw it up on camera. Alrighty. Yes, Sunday night, 5:30 our time. The Chiefs have a chance to go back-to-back. They had the opportunity in 2020 against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but now they've got a chance of redemption. They're the underdogs in this matchup, both on paper, and I think everyone is definitely rooting against them right now. We have officially become the villains of the NFL, and you know what? After all of the years of heartbreak, of suffering, of futility, this is honestly a very, very fulfilling feeling, being the hated team, being the villain of the league. If you look at the numbers, the 49ers offense, top 3. 49ers defense, top 10. Their rush, one of the best in the league. You've got guys like Nick Bosa on the other side, chomping at the bit. You've got linebackers like Fred Warner, who still remembers 2019. Very, 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 very much so. You've got George Kittle, easily one of the best tight ends and easily deserves his name up there alongside a Kelsey or a Gronkowski. You've got Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, the final pick of the draft, his second year in. Last year, he could have taken him to the Super Bowl if it wasn't for his UCL. What a story, he's got to be up for comeback player of the year, I'd say, after how that ended.
Yep.
What a story for Kyle Shanahan getting his team back to the Super Bowl after how things ended last year against the Philadelphia Eagles. But now it's Kansas City's time to once again silence the doubters, silence the dislikers, shake off the haters, and do it not only for Taylor Swift, but the entire Chiefs kingdom, baby. And like I said, it's very fitting. One of my favorite players of all time wore this number 58, Derek Thomas. Kansas City, if you go into the home of the Las Vegas Raiders and you win a playoff game before the Raiders do there too, then there will be absolutely no doubt left that this is the true start of the Chiefs dynasty. Boys, it's all in front of you. Go out and take it. And that, my friends, is what we call a promo.
Oh, God, I hate this reality.
You and Perna both. You and Brandon Perna both. And I'm here for every second of it. You are right about one thing. It's going to be a good game, though. Win or lose, this is going to be one of those hard-hitting slugfests, and I'm all for it. It sucks when it's a one-sided affair, especially for a game that's as hyped as this one here too. I hope both teams bring their best. I hope the injuries are minimum. I hope there's no injuries, honestly. And it's the old saying, it's the old cliche, may the best team win. So, alrighty, well, that is our show this week. Any final thoughts to close out the year? The next time we're going to talk to each other on this show, football's over until next year.
Isn't that so sad? Just TJ Watt DPOY.
There you go. You're looking forward to the honors, baby. We'll be watching them, and we might talk about that a little bit too on the Super Bowl review. But yes, that is our show, our final show before football is over this year, and we want to thank each and every single one of you, whether you followed us the entire season or whether you've dropped in for one episode or if you've just seen a few clips of us. Thank you, everybody, so much for sticking with us for the last 3 seasons. It's hard to believe this is our 3rd year doing this, honestly.
3rd year, man.
And it just gets better and better every time. It's a lot of fun. I never get tired of doing this. Even the editing process, I never get tired of it. I like doing this with one of my good friends here. Even though we don't agree on teams, we both agree on one thing, and that's our love for football. And we're appreciative that we get to share that love with each and every single one of you on that.
Oh yeah, no, I enjoy it. I get to talk about Steelers with my best bud. Great time.
Absolutely. And we look forward to having a great time with you next week with the Chiefs win.
Sure, why not?
Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all of your friends. It's Super Bowl weekend, baby. Let's get excited. Let's have some fun. Let's party. We'll see you next week, everyone.